You're holding a coin in your hand, something you might easily mistake for just another old dollar. But what if I told you this coin could be worth thousands, even millions of dollars in the right condition? A simple piece of metal that was once passed through countless hands used to buy everyday goods now has the power to change lives. That's the reality behind the 1976 bicentennial Eisenhower $1 coin. Collectors hunt for it, treasure it, and pay unbelievable amounts of money for the rarest versions. What looks ordinary to most can be a hidden fortune for those who know the signs. And today, we're going to unravel its true story, its history, and why this coin has shocked the world with its staggering value. The Eisenhower dollar holds a unique place in American coinage history. First minted in 1971, it was the first dollar coin struck by the United States Mint since the peace dollar of 1935. Named after President Dwight D. Eisenhower, who had passed away in 1969, the coin not only honored his legacy, but also celebrated the U.S. space program by featuring an eagle landing on the moon on its reverse, commemorating the Apollo 11 mission. But in 1976, something special happened. America was celebrating its 200th anniversary, the bicentennial of independence, and the Mint wanted to create a coin that would embody that monumental occasion. So the Eisenhower dollar received a special design, one that made it instantly stand apart from any other coin. Instead of the moon landing eagle, the reverse of the bicentennial Eisenhower dollar displayed a bold new image: the Liberty Bell superimposed over the moon, designed by Dennis R. Williams, a young art student at the time. The obverse retained Eisenhower's portrait by Frank Gasparo, but the dual-dated 1776 to 1976 inscription replaced the single-year mark, making these coins exclusive to the bicentennial celebration. These unique changes transformed the Eisenhower dollar into a collector's dream. It wasn't just a coin anymore. It was a piece of history, a tribute to 2 centuries of American freedom, unity, and progress. The bicentennial Eisenhower dollars were struck in several forms, and this is where things get interesting for collectors. They were minted in both copper nickel-clad and 40% silver versions. The silver issues, sold directly to collectors in special sets, are especially sought after today. Then, there are the uncirculated and proof versions, which were carefully struck to highlight every detail of the design. Proofs, in particular, have mirror-like surfaces that make them stand out as dazzling works of art. The sheer variety of these coins, from circulation strikes to collector editions, creates an entire world of rarity, value, and mystery. But here's the real secret. Not all bicentennial Eisenhower dollars are equal. While most are worth just a few dollars today, rare errors, high-grade conditions, and unique varieties can sell for staggering amounts. For example, certain 1976 Eisenhower dollars graded in pristine condition, MS 67 or higher, can fetch thousands at auction. There are even proof coins in perfect PR 70 condition that have commanded jaw-dropping prices. And then, there are the errors, the coins that slipped through the mint with mistakes. Double dies, off-center strikes, and wrong planchet errors are like lottery tickets in the world of coin collecting. Imagine finding one of these in an old collection or tucked away in a forgotten drawer. That's where stories of coins selling for tens of thousands or even more come from. Collectors are especially obsessed with what's known as the Type 1 and Type 2 reverses of the bicentennial dollar. The Type 1 features bold, blocky lettering on the reverse, while the Type 2 has a more refined, thinner font. Type 2 coins are generally more common in proofs, but both types have their dedicated fan base. Discerning which type you have can make a huge difference in value, and serious collectors will pay handsomely to fill gaps in their sets. For the average person who stumbles across one of these coins, it's often a surprise to learn that these small differences can mean the difference between a coin worth only face value and one worth hundreds of dollars. The bicentennial Eisenhower dollar also holds an emotional weight. It represents a turning point in U.S. coinage, a last hurrah of the large-size dollar coin. After 1978, the Eisenhower dollar series ended, and in 1979, the smaller Susan B. Anthony dollar took its place. That makes the 1976 bicentennial issue not only historic because of the 200-year celebration, but also because it marked the end of an era. Holding one in your hand is like holding the closing chapter of America's traditional silver dollar-sized coins. What truly fuels the massive demand, though, is the human side of collecting. For older generations, the Eisenhower dollar brings back memories of bicentennial parades, fireworks, and patriotic celebrations. For younger collectors, it's an entry point into the fascinating world of numismatics, where a simple pocket change discovery could be worth a fortune. The 1976 Eisenhower dollar bridges those worlds, creating a coin that resonates emotionally and financially. Stories of life-changing discoveries only add to its legend. Imagine someone inheriting a box of coins from a grandparent and dismissing them as worthless, only to find that one gleaming bicentennial dollar inside is a rare-proof silver version in perfect condition. Suddenly, what was once just a keepsake becomes an asset worth thousands. Stories like this fuel the frenzy, keeping demand for these coins alive decades after their minting. Professional grading has also pushed the bicentennial Eisenhower dollar to new heights. Companies like PCGS and NGC certify these coins, and collectors trust their grades when making big money purchases. The difference between a grade of MS-66 and MS-67 can be hundreds or even thousands of dollars. A flawless MS-68 silver bicentennial Eisenhower dollar can cross into the realm of life-changing money, especially when two determined bidders drive up the price in an auction. While it may sound unbelievable, some bicentennial Eisenhower dollars have indeed sold for extraordinary sums. Auction records reveal prices that soar well beyond what anyone might expect for a coin minted in such large numbers. The truth is, rarity, condition, and collector demand all converge to create a perfect storm of value. This is why people say, never overlook an old coin. What might seem like just a shiny old dollar could be your ticket to riches. So, the next time you come across a 1976 bicentennial Eisenhower $1, don't dismiss it. Check the condition. Look for the silver versions. Examine for errors or unusual features. You never know. You could be holding something that collectors are willing to fight for. A coin that turns ordinary into extraordinary. That's the magic of numismatics. From honoring President Eisenhower, to celebrating America's 200th birthday, to hiding untold fortunes in plain sight, the bicentennial Eisenhower dollar is far more than just a coin. It is history, art, memory, and wealth, all struck into metal. A simple dollar that has captured the imagination of millions, and in some rare cases, has made people millionaires. So keep your eyes open, because the fortune you seek might just be lying in your pocket, disguised as an old coin, waiting for the right person to recognize its true worth. What if the coin, sitting unnoticed in your pocket or hidden deep in your family's drawer, was secretly worth millions of dollars? What if a single piece of change, something most people spend without a second thought, could turn into the rarest treasure of your lifetime? The 1976 bicentennial Eisenhower half-dollar isn't just another old coin. It's a silent piece of American history, and in rare cases, it carries value so high that collectors compete fiercely to own it. This isn't just about money. It's about unlocking a hidden fortune from something that looks ordinary to everyone else, but could be extraordinary for you. The year 1976 wasn't just another year for the United States. It was the nation's 200th birthday, the bicentennial celebration of independence. The country marked 2 centuries since the signing of the Declaration of Independence. Streets were filled with parades, fireworks lit up the skies, and patriotism ran deeper than ever. To honor this milestone, the U.S. Mint released special coinage unlike anything Americans had ever seen before. These bicentennial coins carried not one date, but two: 1776 to 1976, forever tying them to that monumental anniversary. They weren't just coins. They were history captured in metal, a permanent reminder of America's journey. Among these historic releases, the Eisenhower half-dollar stood out. Known for featuring President Dwight D. Eisenhower on the obverse, the coin had already gained popularity since its introduction in 1971. But during the bicentennial, the half-dollar took on an entirely new identity. Its reverse design was changed to honor 200 years of American independence, making it immediately recognizable and forever tied to that proud celebration. Collectors at the time knew they were witnessing history, but few realized just how valuable some of these coins would become decades later. Millions of bicentennial half-dollars were struck. But here's the twist. Not all of them are the same. Some were made in copper-nickel, the common metal used for circulating coins, while others were struck in a special silver-clad composition. These silver versions were not widely circulated and were sold primarily to collectors, making them far scarcer today. On top of that, the Mint produced proof versions with mirror-like finishes, and some of these proofs remain so pristine that they command astronomical prices on the market today. Collectors know that the real treasures are in the details. On the surface, every 1976 bicentennial Eisenhower half-dollar may look similar, but the truth is hidden in the small differences. Mint marks play a big role. Coins from Philadelphia often had no mint mark at all, while Denver coins bore the D, and San Francisco coins carried the S. Among these, the San Francisco proof and silver-clad versions are some of the most sought after. Imagine finding one of these flawless coins tucked away in a collection never touched by human hands, preserved in perfect condition for nearly 50 years. That's where the value skyrockets from cents to thousands, or even millions. Errors make these coins even more exciting. In the world of coin collecting, errors aren't mistakes to be discarded. They're treasures to be hunted. A double-die error, where the date or design appears doubled due to a misalignment during striking, can turn a 50-cent coin into something worth thousands. Off-center strikes, missing mint marks, or unique variations in the design also make these coins incredibly rare and valuable. Collectors dream of uncovering one of these hidden gems because they know that rarity drives demand, and demand drives value. Condition is everything. A coin that has been circulated, passed from hand to hand, will never command the same value as one that has been preserved in mint condition. Professional grading services evaluate coins on a scale, with the ultimate grade being MS-70, meaning flawless in every detail. Bicentennial Eisenhower half-dollars graded at this level are extremely rare. When they appear at auctions, collectors go into bidding wars, driving prices higher and higher. Stories of coins selling for tens of thousands, or even breaking into the millions, aren't just myths. They are real outcomes of collectors battling for the best of the best. But beyond money, there's something deeper that makes these coins so powerful. The 1976 bicentennial Eisenhower half-dollar is a time capsule. It carries the pride, hope, and patriotism of an entire nation, celebrating 200 years of freedom. Holding one is like holding a piece of that celebration. A frozen moment in history when America stood tall to honor its past and look forward to its future. That emotional connection makes collectors want these coins even more. For them, it's not just about owning metal. It's about owning a story, a piece of the American spirit itself. Auction houses across the country have witnessed the magic of these coins. A pristine, silver-proof Eisenhower half-dollar can bring thousands of dollars in today's market. Rare varieties with errors or Unusual features have been known to sell for even more, shocking collectors and investors alike. The thrill lies in the fact that these coins could be anywhere, hidden in an old coin jar, resting in a family collection, or sitting unnoticed in someone's pocket. Anyone could stumble upon a fortune without realizing it. For everyday people, that possibility is electrifying. You don't need to be a professional collector to strike gold. You simply need to look closely. A coin you thought was worthless might be the exact one that collectors have been waiting for. That's the beauty of coin collecting. The hidden treasures are out there, waiting for the right person to recognize them. The bicentennial half-dollar's design itself adds to its appeal. The obverse still carries Eisenhower's strong and dignified profile, a reminder of his leadership during one of America's most critical times in history. The reverse, however, changed during 1976, bearing imagery that directly tied it to the bicentennial celebration. This combination of presidential tribute and national pride gives the coin layers of meaning that few other pieces of currency can match. Over the decades, coin enthusiasts have tracked every variety, every minting difference, and every rare error associated with this coin. Yet the fascination hasn't faded, it has only grown. As time passes, pristine examples become harder to find. Coins that were once kept safe in protective cases now stand out as rarities, commanding ever higher prices in the market. The combination of scarcity, history, and demand creates a perfect storm that continues to drive up value year after year. So why should you care? Because that single coin you might overlook could be your life-changing discovery. The Eisenhower bicentennial half-dollar is more than metal. It's history, it's art, it's wealth hidden in plain sight. Collectors around the world are hunting for them. Auction houses are spotlighting them, and values keep climbing. The secret to unlocking that fortune might be sitting right in front of you. The next time you come across a bicentennial Eisenhower half-dollar, don't dismiss it as spare change. Take a closer look, study the details. Look for mint marks, unusual features, or signs of pristine condition. That simple coin could hold a fortune, a piece of America's history, and perhaps even the key to your financial future. Coins like these remind us that the greatest treasures don't always shine. They sometimes hide in plain sight, waiting for the right eyes to see them. So remember this: millions of coins were struck, but only a rare few hold the kind of value that can change lives. Will you be the one to discover it? Will you be the one who realizes that a simple 50-cent piece can be worth millions? The answer may already be in your hands.